I'm about to show you exactly how you can use AI and automation, get more clients on Instagram in 2026, and I'm going to give you all the templates that you need to make it happen completely for free. The system I'm about to show you is responsible for taking a client from $30,000 a month to $80,000 a month, books 50 calls a day for one single client, and automates 90% of all the work that goes into getting more leads and clients on Instagram. This system is for coaches and consultants who are stuck doing everything manually or have a team that they need to scale in order to grow their business, for agency owners who want more qualified calls automatically, and for service providers who need consistent cash flow and want a better way to build predictable revenue and client generation in their business. In this video, you're going to get complete automation templates, AI prompts and workflows, N8N plus Manychat setups and automations, and state-of-the-art tracking. Let's dive right into the foundations of understanding Instagram automation. The automation spectrum of Instagram includes official methods, which are Meta API approved tools, a gray area where you need to be a little bit careful about how you use those automation tools, as well as risky areas which can lead to account suspension. Let's talk about official tools first, which are working through the Meta API. This includes tools such as Manychat or Go High Level, which most of you will be familiar with, but I will be explaining mainly Manychat over the course of this video, as it has the most capabilities for what we'll be needing to get more clients. All of these tools mean that your account is completely safe in any automation that you're doing. Now, the gray area tools have a ton of leverage, but you need to be careful on how you use them. This is where lead scraping comes in, where we actually scrape Instagram profiles to get all the data on a specific lead and allow our automations to personalize the experience based on what they're saying. We also use AI profile analysis to automatically qualify specific leads so that we can understand who our highest priority is. Now, as I mentioned, these can be risky, but in what I'm going to show you in today's video, you can do all of these things completely risk-free. Which brings us to the unofficial methods, which includes cold DM automation, meaning cold outreach, which is officially against Instagram terms. Now, if you have no organic traction and no money for ads, this may be a viable path for you to get your first clients on Instagram, and it will still make sense in the context of this entire system. However, there is some risk involved, and I would be lying to you if I said it wasn't risk-free. And the second unofficial method is any sort of mass engagement, mass story viewing, mass commenting, mass liking, mass following. All of these things are against Instagram terms and are even more risky than cold DM automation. We will not be covering these in depth in today's video, but I will be sprinkling in little goodies in case this is something that you're interested about. Now, why even automate your Instagram? Number one, it's scalable. You can handle unlimited conversations on Instagram if you have automations in place. Secondly, there's no human turnover, which is a big problem because appointment setters, for example, usually turn over every couple of months and you need to keep on replacing them. This leads to consistent performance, which is ongoing 24/7 because automations and AI never sleep. And third, we have automated data collection, because without the right data on what is happening inside of your Instagram DMs, you will not be able to optimize the amount of money that you make. And I'm going to show you the exact tool that you need to use in order to get perfect tracking and insights for your Instagram DMs. A great example for these benefits are a client that actually did 65,000 messages with AI just this past month. And let me tell you something, doing that with a human team is practically impossible. And remember this, automation without strategy is just spam, but strategy without automation is burnout. So we're going to try to find the perfect middle ground where the automations we do don't come off as spammy so that you can scale your business without burnout. Which brings me to part two, the system. Attract, connect, convert. The AI sales system is built into three separate phases. The first stage is to attract the type of leads you want. This is how you get attention. The second stage is to connect with the people that you previously attracted, which means starting the conversation. And the third is to convert those conversations into booked calls. Now let's dive into the individual phases, starting with the attract phase. Attracting leads on Instagram is done through content creation, where your hooks, the value, and the call to actions are incredibly important. It's done through paid ads, such as, for example, profile visit campaigns or direct call to action DM campaigns, as well as through an optimized profile. None of this is going to work if your profile isn't optimized and looks trash. You need to build trust and and social proof with your audience and the people you attract, and the only way you can do that is by having an optimized profile with good content. The entire goal of the attract phase is to get more eyeballs on you and your business. Which brings me to the connect phase. In the connect phase, we have a couple different ways we can connect with people. Number one is inbound leads, meaning they come to you and send you a DM. This can be done by having a keyword in your bio, or a certain amount of people is just going to send you any sort of message in your DMs, potentially asking a question. This is the minority of leads though, and much more powerful is automated outreach. And when I say automated outreach, I'm talking about warm outreach only, no cold outreach. And you can do this through Manychat triggers. This will include reaching out to new followers, people who comment on your posts, or people who reply to a story. And the third part of the connect phase is airtight tracking, because you need to know which sort of openers and which questions give you the highest reply rate so that you connect with as many people as possible. And the DM tracker integration, which I'm going to be showing you in today's video, is going to solve exactly that problem. Now, the goal of the entire connect phase is simply to start conversations. Which brings me to the third and final phase, which is the convert phase, where we turn these conversations into booked calls. Here is where we're going to be using an AI appointment setter to qualify and book calls. We're going to be using AI qualification to filter high intent leads and make sure we only talk to people we actually want to talk to. And we're going to have follow-ups in an automated sequence as well as automated tracking so that your human team can take over follow-ups when the AI is no longer able to do them. This is due to a 24-hour limitation, meaning with official Meta API methods, we are only able to automate within 24 hours of the last interaction of the user. So as soon as it falls out of those 24 hours, we have an automated way to track all the follow-ups so that you don't leave any money on the table. And the goal of the convert phase is simple: book more calls. Now let's dive into the tech stack that you're going to be using for this specific setup. Now first, we're going to be using N8N, which is going to be the AI brain, meaning all of the logic around the AI appointment setter, around lead scraping, around qualification. It's all going to happen inside of N8N. I'm going to show you exactly step by step and give you all the templates you need to make sure that you use N8N in the right way for Instagram. The second is Manychat, which we're going to be using to receive and send messages, as well as reach out to people using warm automated outreach to, for example, new followers, as well as the ability to split test different messages. And finally, we're going to be using DM Tracker, which is going to track everything going on inside of your Instagram DMs and give us data on what is happening inside of Manychat so that we can understand which message variations get us the highest reply rates and start the most conversations. On top of that, it's going to tell us exactly who we need to follow up with so that we never miss a single lead ever again. Now, when I say 90% of the system is automated, it raises the obvious question: what do you have to do and what is automated? Now, AI handles all conversations, lead qualification, call booking, follow-ups, and data tracking. And on top of that, we automate warm outreach to new followers and commenters. Now, what you need to handle is content creation, lead flow management, meaning making sure you follow up with people who the AI can no longer follow up with, sales calls, and closing clients. And make sure you write this down, because if you automate the 80 to 90%, you can focus on the 20% that actually move the needle inside of your business, which is going to be closing deals and getting more people into your funnel. Part 3, the attract phase. Let's talk about how you can attract people to your profile so that you can start more conversations. We want to get you as much attention as possible. The principle that you're going to have to follow to make this a success is to steal what works first. We want to find 3 competitors in your niche at least. If you find 5, 10, or even 15, that's even better. We're going to want to use Sort Feed, which is a Chrome extension, to find their top posts and understand which of their content performs best. Sort Feed is the most affordable option I found out there. It's a one-time payment to set it up. I'm going to link it down below in the description. But if you don't want to spend money on Sort Feed, you can also do this manually by finding outlier posts. Now, what are outlier posts? What are we looking for with the Sort Feed Chrome extension? Let's say we have a competitor of ours who's doing significantly better than we currently are, and they get on average 10,000 views per reel. We are going to want to find any reel that significantly outperformed their average, meaning at least 3 to 5 times the average. So if they get 10,000 views per reel, we want to look for reels that got at least 30 to 50,000 views, meaning they significantly outperformed the account's baseline. Those are going going to be the pieces of content that we want to recreate. We're going to steal their hooks, meaning the verbal and the visual hooks. Now, this is an important distinction that you have to understand. It is not just important what is said in the hook, meaning usually the first 3 seconds. It is also important what is shown. So if I'm standing here and I throw a banana and say 6 specific words, and this video goes viral, you are going to want to stand there, throw a banana, and say the same 6 specific words. If I say 5 specific words and have a text appear above my head while I'm saying them, and this video goes viral, you will want to have the same text appearing above your head and say the same 5 words on your video. And don't worry, we're not going to rip the entire video, we're just stealing the proven hook, and all of the big dogs on Instagram do it, so why shouldn't you do it as well? And finally, we're going to analyze call to action patterns. How often are these competitors doing call to actions, and what are their call to actions? Do they have people comment a specific keyword? Do they have people reach out to them via DMs? It varies by niche on which of these 2 approaches work best. In most niches, it's going to be commenting, but there's certain niches where people are a little bit apprehensive about commenting. An example for this could be dating. If you're in the dating niche, people may not want to comment on a video on how to get more girls because people can see that they commented, and it may expose them to having their friends see that they have this problem. So depending on the niche, a specific call to action is going to be better, either commenting or having people DM you a keyword. Now, the purpose of the content is not just to get views or likes. The only real purpose of the content is to get more DMs and conversations. Views and likes are obviously a pre-requirement. If you're going to get 500 views, you're going to get less DMs and conversations. But you can get a video with 10 million views that only brings you 10 conversations, and a video with 20,000 views that brings you 50 conversations. In that case, the 20,000 view video is going to be more valuable for your Instagram sales process. And that is very important to understand. We're chasing views with the goal of starting conversations. And if the views don't start conversations, then we're getting the wrong views. Now, the hook framework that we're going to be using for our content is to stop the scroll in the first 3 seconds, deliver value in the next 30 seconds, and have a clear call to action in the last 5 seconds. Now, when it comes to the hook and stopping the scroll in the first 3 seconds, you want to copy and steal exactly what your competitors did. There is no shame on it. Get it out of your head that there's any sort of shame involved in taking someone else's hook. Everybody does it. All the successful guys do it. And even if you look at YouTube, all the big players take the formats that are proven to work well and reuse them by their own, meaning the title and thumbnail. The equivalent of the title and thumbnail on YouTube on Instagram is what you say and what you see in the first 3 seconds of a video. When it comes to delivering value, this is where you give your own secret sauce. This is where we don't want to rip off other people's videos because you're a unique person with unique takes and unique opinions. So make sure you show those in the actual value segment. Now, this doesn't have to be 30 seconds. It can be 10, 15, it can be 45 or a minute and a half. This totally depends on the video. This is just an example layout. And then finally, we want a clear call to action, which would be comment guide for the free resource, comment weight loss to get my guide on dropping 10 pounds in 6 weeks. You want to have a call to action for people to either comment on the video or DM you a specific word in order to receive something for free. We want to lure them into conversations by giving them free value. The call to action types that work are what I just covered: comment a specific keyword, DM me a specific word, or follow me for more. If you don't have a resource to give out, follow is a great one because you can automate outreach to new followers using Manychat. And if you run ads, this can be an especially powerful keyword because you can generate qualified followers from ads and funnel them into your system. Now, a couple AI tools that I would use for the attract phase are content creation, either Get Poppy, which is a little bit more expensive, or simply using Claude to write your script. Claude is way superior to ChatGPT when it comes to writing scripts, so make sure you keep that in mind. And secondly, for visual creation, if you ever need to create any graphics, use Nano Banana or Nano Banana Pro, which is by far my favorite tool for generating graphics for anything I do. Now, let me give you an example of what a weekly content mix with this strategy could look like. You could be doing 3 educational posts a week, 2 results, proof, transformation posts a week, and 2 engagement bait posts posts per week. Engagement baiting is incredibly powerful on Instagram, as you know, and it will get you a lot of views. You just need to make sure that you have a call to action in place. And not every video needs to be an absolute banger when it comes to the amount of conversations it starts. Some videos just bring you awareness, which you can also use to retarget inside of your ads down the line. This equals 7 posts a week in total, meaning 1 a day. And this is really the baseline that you should be aiming for on Instagram, which is 1 post every single day. Now, on top of content, we're going to want to look into paid ads, which is really an accelerator. It's like pouring fuel on an already slightly burning fire, which just makes it explode. And paid ads, we have 2 different types of ways that we can do it. Either we're going to run profile visit ads, which make people visit your profile. Our goal is to get them to follow so that we can reach out to them automatically on Manychat and actually get them into a conversation. And secondly, we want to boost the posts which start the most conversation. So if we have a post where we tell people to comment a specific word and we have a great amount of conversations started and we're getting great leads from this post, we can put ad spend behind those posts to amplify what we're already getting organically and get even more leads at a great cost. And before I continue with the scheduled presentation, for ads, as I said, we have messaging ads where either we get people to send us a direct message or we have profile visit / follow ads, which are going to lead to our optimized profile. This is an example for that where we have people visit the Instagram profile. You would take your most viral reels and run those campaigns. A conversation messaging ad campaign would be an engagement campaign that gets people to start a conversation, and a profile visit campaign would be a traffic campaign. And when it comes to having an optimized profile, look at what your competitors are doing and follow it. A very simple framework that you can use is the first line of your bio should be who you help and what you help them with. I help X with Y is a proven framework that you can use. I help men over 30, or I help busy men lose 10 pounds in 6 weeks. For example, the second line of your bio should be social proof, meaning I helped 100+ people drop weight with this protocol. I generated $5 million in revenue. I helped 600 guys overcome their dating fears. Some form of social proof that shows people that you know what you're talking about. And finally, we want to have a call to action, which in a lot of people's cases is going to be a link. In our case, we want to have people DM us a keyword. DM me system to learn more. DM me strategy to learn how. Things like that are going to be your call to action that you want to use. Now let's summarize the attract phase. You want to steal proven hooks, the verbal and the visual ones. You want to be consistent every single day. And the attention that we're going to get from our content and from our ads is simply fuel to your business. You need people to know who you are, otherwise you're not going to make as much money as you'd like. Which brings me to part 4, the connect phase. In the connect phase, we're going to be starting conversations with leads. And we do this with a ton of different automations. First, we have to understand the difference between cold versus warm. Cold people are people who don't know you, which leads to lower conversion rates, and there's higher risk involved with Instagram not liking that sort of activity. Warm outreach, on the other hand, is people who engaged with you. You have 10 times better conversion, and it's the much safer and officially Meta-approved approach. Now, the reality of cold outreach is that there's some risk to your account, which can be that Instagram flags your messages, they have you verify your phone number, they temporarily block your DMs, and you have lower conversion rates. We will focus on warm outreach as part of this system. Now, warm outreach can really follow 2 separate paths. Number 1, we have automated warm outreach, which is using Manychat along with the Meta API. Now, this is 100% safe and scalable, and I'll go into examples for this in a second. And the second path is manual warm outreach, which can be either done by you or by a virtual assistant, which is sort of a higher touch and conversion point. This could be people who, for example, vote on a story poll, but I'll give you examples on this in a bit. Both of these paths, automated and manual, are going to be tracked in DM Tracker so that we understand exactly what is getting us the most replies. To give you an example of what this is going to look like in DM Tracker before we get into it again later in the video, you're going to be able to see how many outreaches you're sending, what your reply rate is, what your reply rate by different outreach reasons are, such as story polls, story viewers, new followers, as well as your reply rate by outreach message so that you can understand which messages perform best inside of your business. Now let's talk about automated warm outreach, which is 100% safe, it's Manychat powered, and it's triggered by a specific engagement point. Automated triggers that we can use for automated warm outreach include new followers, which you can do via Manychat, which sends a message to every single new follower you gain, and post comments, where you auto reply to the comment and send them a resource in your DMs. We also have story replies, where people reply with a specific keyword to your story and we can auto respond to those, as well as keyword triggers, where we have people DM us a specific keyword to start a conversation. Now, a Manychat demo is incoming, and I'm going to show you 3 automation flows. Number 1, how you can automatically message new followers and reach out to them using split tests and tracking in DM Tracker. Number 2, how you can automatically reach out to people who comment on your posts. And number 3, how you can automate people replying to your stories and reach out to them with a question on autopilot. And template alert, all the Manychat flows that are going to be needed for you to set this up are going to be linked down below in the description. And let's get right into that tutorial video. Now, first, you're going to have to sign up to Manychat, and you can do that using the link down below in the description. It's going to take you to this sign up page where you can start your free 14-day trial. Simply go ahead and select Instagram or any other platform that you want to use. Now, here you're going to have to connect with Meta if you want all features, such as the follow to DM feature on Instagram, meaning that you actually need to connect your Instagram account to a Facebook business page. And once you've completed the sign up, simply go ahead and sign up for the free 14-day trial, because a lot of the things I'm going to show you in this video require the paid plan. If you want to keep the free plan for now, that is totally fine, but a lot of the things in this video are not going to work. Now, here's a problem I see all of the time. Most people set up Manychat, they have a couple resources they share, they collect link clicks and maybe some emails, but the real thing that drives sales on Instagram is having conversations. Conversations are what book calls, conversations are what builds trust and allows you to understand the pain points that your potential customers are facing. So everything I'm about to show you is focused on one singular thing, which is starting more successful conversations so that you can book more calls and make more money. Now, I'm going to cover a couple of powerful use cases throughout this video, and the first one I want to start off with is automatically saying hi to new followers, meaning whenever somebody follows you, you can automatically send them a DM. Now, again, most people do this incorrectly, and I'm going to show you how you can do it so that you actually maximize the results from this powerful feature. The way we do this is by split testing different message variations whenever somebody follows us and tracking everything in an external tool called DM Tracker, which I'm about to show you. What this automation allows us to do is whenever somebody follows us, we have a random path that they go down where we have 3 different message variations. The goal of each of these messages is to start a conversation, not send out a free resource. We do this by asking them a question, and one of my favorite ones is, are you here for the free content, or are you looking for a bit of help with X? So if you're a fitness coach, it would be, hey, thanks for following. Are you here for the free content or looking for a bit of help with your training? Frameworks such as that one, where you give them 2 options to choose from, remove the need for them to think in order to reply. But the great thing is, whatever messages you come up with, we're going to be able to see based on actual data which one yields the highest reply rate, so that all of the guessing is removed. So each of these paths set up the message that we're going to send. Hey, how are you? How is training going at the moment? We then track it inside of the DM Tracker. I'm about to show you exactly what that is, and we actually send out the message. But since Manychat doesn't give us a reply rate for the messages we send, that is where DM Tracker comes in, because it shows you exactly how many outreaches you've sent, how many replies you receive, and what your reply rate is. On top of that, it also gives you the reply rate by outreach message, so that you can see which of your messages are performing best, drop the bad performing ones, and keep improving on the good ones. Now, that is just the beginning of what's possible with DM Tracker, because it also allows you to track all follow-ups inside of your Instagram DMs, meaning you can see who you need to follow up with and who ghosted you. You can sign up to DM Tracker for a free 14-day trial using the link down below in the description, and for a limited time only, there's a free strategy call with myself included, where I'm going to give you the lessons that I've learned working with over 100 clients in this space, so that you can implement them inside of your business starting immediately. Now, the reason this is so powerful is because most people come into Manychat, they set something up, and then they just forget about it. So they would come in, set up a specific message that goes out to new followers, and then never look at it again. With this strategy, you can actually improve over time, which is what we want to do, and I think we all can agree that data is the #1 way to do that. I'm going to link this resource on screen right here in the description down below, which is going to take you to our free school community, and this video shows you exactly how to set up that automation and start tracking your reply rates today. It also includes the template that you need in order to set up this automation completely for free. Okay, so now you're auto DMing new followers and tracking the reply rates. But what about people who are already engaged and commented on one of your posts? Manychat allows you to automatically reach out to people who commented on your posts and send them a free resource. The traditional way to do this is somebody comments, you send them a free resource, and that's basically the end of the story. But what I'm going to show you now is going to change the flow to have people comment, you send them the resource, but then we actually track which follow-up questions yield the most replies in conversation. We had a video on our business Instagram account get 2 million views and 78,000 comments. That's 78,000 conversations that we started from one single piece of content. But here's what most people miss, because the only way we were able to do that is by using DM Tracker to actually track which questions re-engage people inside of conversation. Now, what you can do is go ahead and set up a trigger for when somebody comments on one of your posts or reels, it goes down the random path, and now you would actually send out the resource. So you could say, hey, here's the free resource, add in the link, and then actually add in a question that you want to ask as a follow-up. So for example, how's training going at the moment? Now, what's going to happen is we're going to send out that message when somebody comments, but have 3 different variations of this questions at the end. So we could have the first one be, hey, here's the free resource, how's training going at the moment? But in the second field, we could ask a different question. How's training going during the holidays? And by adding this question and by having different variations and using DM Tracker, we're going to be able to see which of those messages gets the best reply rate, meaning which of the resource messages that we sent out gets us the most conversations started and gets us the most calls booked. Now, I'm going to put the link to the video where I show exactly how to set this up down below in the description. And once again, if you sign up to the free trial of DM Tracker, you have the option to book in a call with me where I can actually help you implement all of these strategies and more inside of your business. Now, once you understand all this and you've implemented the automation, we have a couple things that we accomplished. Number 1, we're able to actually track what we're doing and see what works and what doesn't. Number 2, we're maximizing the amount of conversations that we get inside of our Instagram DMs, which brings us to number 3, which is actually handling the conversations. And for this, I made a full breakdown on how you can automate your entire Instagram appointment setting process using an AI, which actually has the conversations for you, qualifies all of those leads, and books in calls on autopilot. I'm going to link the full tutorial breakdown along with all templates for free, once again, down below in the description. And we actually do this for over 100 clients on Instagram. So if you don't want to do all of this yourself and you just want our help to get it done, there's going to be a link to schedule in a free call down below in the description where we can explore if we can help you and if it makes sense to potentially work together. Instagram DMs were the most underrated sales channel in 2025, and in 2026 there's going to be a big separation between the winners and the losers, the ones who understand how to automate Instagram DMs and the ones who don't and are stuck in the perpetual rat race of trying to get more conversations, trying to get more calls, instead of effortlessly having a system set up that facilitates just that. Boom, I hope you enjoyed those tutorial videos, and now let's get back into this presentation and walk you through the rest of the system. The manual warm outreach. Now, this is going to be outreach to sources that cannot be automated using the official Meta API, meaning there is no official endpoint for this, but it does ensure that we reach leads who are incredibly valuable. Now, manual outreach triggers times when you want to reach out to people manually are people who view your stories. These will give you a 20 to 30% reply rate, and they're highly qualified leads. Number 2 is people who vote on a story poll. So if you throw a poll up in your story and people vote on that, they are super engaged, and I've seen clients get a 40 to 50% reply rate on reaching out to people who vote on a story poll. So this is a very underrated method. And number 3 is existing followers. If you've neglected your existing follower base, you can reach out to those people to further nurture your audience and start more conversations from the people you already have in your funnel. Now, what is the process for actually doing warm manual outreach? The VA finds qualified leads based on the sources that I just mentioned. They send a personalized message to those leads using a specific message template. They log the outreach inside of DM Tracker, which I'm going to show you how to do in a second. And you or AI, which I'm going to show you how to build an AI appointment setter later, are going to take over the conversations. Now, when it comes to logging outreach inside of DM Tracker, it's very easy to log warm manual outreach so that you can actually track reply rates. All you need to do is click on Add Outreach, add in the different usernames that you want to reach out to, select all of them and select why you reached out to them, such as, for example, a story poll, along with the specific message which you sent to this person. By adding in all these outreaches, DM Tracker now automatically tracks the reply rate to those messages and organizes all of these people inside of this follow-up board so that you fully understand who you need to follow up with over time and how your outreach is performing. Now, to dive a little bit deeper into the DM Tracker integration, it tracks everything for you, all conversations, automated and manual, and tells you when people ghosted you so that you can follow up with them. It gives you performance metrics such as reply rates by different methods, by different messages, etc. And it gives you follow-up reminders, meaning it organizes people into a follow-up board so you know exactly when and who to follow up with. There's a free trial alert because there's a 14-day free DM Tracker trial available down below in the description. And for a limited time only, when you sign up to the free 14-day trial, you can get a free strategy call with myself where I can take a look at your specific business and see how you can best use all the things that we're talking about in this video to make more money on Instagram. The link for the 14-day free trial is down below in the description, or you can find it at dmtracker.ai. And before we finish up the connect phase, let's jump into a quick walkthrough of DM Tracker so that you understand exactly what it's about and how it can help you and your business. The problem with a lot of CRMs, such as Go High Level, Salesforce, HubSpot, and all of these different options that we have out there, is that they're not built specifically for managing Instagram DMs. They're great CRMs on their own, and we use some of them, and our clients do as well. But if you want to really manage Instagram DMs in the most optimal way, you need something that is built specifically for that use case. Manychat is probably the closest we get to that, but it doesn't cover the full picture. And that is where DM Tracker comes in. DM Tracker is a CRM built specifically for Instagram that allows you to track every single lead, understand reply rates, and integrates directly with Manychat so you don't need to abandon the tools that you're already using. What you see on screen right now is what you'll see when you sign up to the free trial of DM Tracker, and the main feature here is really the statistics and the follow-ups page. In your statistics, you can see how many follow-ups you've sent, what your follow-up success rate is, whether your team is sending out follow-ups late or on time, and you get advanced outreach insights where you can see how many outreaches you're sending, how many replies you're receiving, your reply rates, and even categorize all of these different things by different outreach messages, by different reasons, and much more. Now, this is both for automated outreach using something like Manychat, as well as manual outreach that your team is doing to somebody who, for example, views a story poll. Because DM Tracker integrates directly with Manychat, you can use Manychat features such as automatically DMing new followers and collect the statistics inside of DM Tracker on autopilot. But that's not even the best part, because DM Tracker tracks every single lead you have inside of your Instagram inbox and tells you when to follow up with them. By doing this, you never miss a lead again, and you always have a good overview over which leads ghosted you and when you need to follow up. You can customize the follow-up stages in any way you want and set up different time frames so that you have different buckets of follow-up stages where people can fall into. And the best part is you can even do automatic split tests and understand which message performs best with a flow such as this one right here in Manychat, where you can get all the templates for free. And what we do here is we randomly pick one of 3 messages, we track everything inside of DM Tracker and actually send the message to the lead. You can do this not only for new followers, but also for commenters on one of your posts. So when you send out a comment, you can send the resource with a follow-up question and see which one gets you the highest reply rate. So in 2025 and moving into 2026, in my opinion, the most solid way is to combine Manychat with something like DM Tracker, which basically makes up all the features that Manychat is missing. The best part is both Manychat and DM Tracker have a free 14-day trial, so you can try this entire setup and see if it works for you. I'm going to link the free resources right below this video where you can find this automation, for example, where you can split test different messages and track reply rates using DM Tracker. And if you sign up for DM Tracker, you can actually, for a limited time only, get a free strategy call with myself where I can show you exactly how to set everything up and implement it. Believe me when I say this is the most powerful way that you can take control over your Instagram DMs, know exactly what performs, and actually improve over time. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments down below. I'll be replying to every single one, and leave a like on this video if you found it valuable. And with that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you soon. I hope you enjoyed that DM Tracker walkthrough and you have a better picture of how that can fit into this entire system. And this is the summary of the connect phase. We want to have automated outreach so that we can achieve scale and consistency. We want to supplement this with manual outreach so that we can have high touch and personalization and reach the people that we usually couldn't reach with automated outreach. We want to use DM Tracker to have visibility, optimization, and all the data that we actually need. And next, we're going to get into scraping and ICP matching, which is such a powerful use case that you do not want to miss out on. Part 5. Profile scraping and ICP matching, which allows you to auto-qualify every single lead. Now, why even scrape Instagram profiles? Now, not all followers that you're going to get are ideal clients. Quality over quantity matters, and scraping shows you exactly who is worth your time so that you can focus your energy on the best prospects inside of your Instagram DMs. AI qualifies all of these people automatically, and you never have to check a single person's profile manually ever again. Now, when does the scraping happen? Now, the first option is a new follower comes in, we scrape their profile, and then we add a tag in Manychat if they're qualified, along with all of the details that we scraped from their account. The second option is somebody comments, we scrape their profile, and we tag them in Manychat along with all the details that we scraped about their account. And the third option is we start a new DM conversation, scrape the person that we're having the conversation with, add the tag, and all the details that we scraped about the lead inside of Manychat. Now, what even gets scraped? We can scrape basic info such as the name, the bio, and the profile picture of a specific lead. We can scrape different metrics such as the follower count, the following count, and the post count, as well as the recent post captions of their content. This gives us a really nice overview over who this person is and whether they're a qualified ICP match for our business. Now, let me give you a quick rundown of how this AI ICP matching actually works. AI analyzes the data that we scraped. It then scores them on a scale of 1 to 10 on how good of an ICP match they are. Based on that scoring, it will auto tag the people inside of Manychat, and it can even do it inside of DM Tracker as well, and it will route them to the right sequence. So maybe you don't want to reach out to people who are not an ICP match, or maybe you want to reach out to everybody, but you'd still like to know who your priority leads are. I'm going to give you an N8N workflow demo of how to actually set this up, and I'll show you exactly the scraping automation, how it connects to Manychat, and how to customize the ICP criteria. And the template alert, the entire N8N scraping workflow is going to be available down below in the description along with all the other templates. All you need to do is customize it for your ICP, and with that being said, let's get right into the tutorial video where I show you exactly how to set this up. I'm about to show you how to build an AI agent that only DMs qualified leads on Instagram and split tests messages so that you understand what your best reply rate is, as well as how you can track everything that's going on inside of your Instagram DMs. And the best part is the templates are all included for free, so you can set this up while watching this video. Now, what are you going to need in order to make this work? Number 1, you're going to need Manychat. Number 2, you're going to need a platform called N8N. I've put the link down below in the description. That is what we're going to use to scrape the details and actually be able to save the details as well as decide whether someone is an ICP match or not. And finally, DM Tracker, which has analytics tracking and more so that we can actually run split tests and understand what gets us the best reply rate. Now, the first step is going to be to build the brain inside of N8N. All you need to do for that is to import the free template using the link down below in the description. I've linked it down below. Go get the free template. We're then going to have to connect our OpenAI API key and set up some scraping functionality. Now, once you've gone ahead and downloaded the free template, all you need to do is go to N8N. If you don't have an account yet, make sure to get it at n8n.io. I've put the link down below in the description. And once you've set it up, simply go ahead and create a new workflow. Click on the 3 dots and click on import from file. Select the file you downloaded as the free template, and it's going to give you this automation on screen right here. Now, don't worry, I've made it incredibly easy for you to adjust this template for your specific needs. The first thing we're going to have to do is actually set up a couple keys. So we're going to go ahead and set up our API key, click on the set API key field, and we're going to find our Manychat API key first. For this, simply go into Manychat, go to settings, scroll down and find the API section and copy out your API key right here, or click on generate new API key if you don't see one yet. We're going to copy that and paste it into the API key field right here. We're also going to need a Manychat ICP tag ID, but we'll get back to that later once we have our Manychat flow imported, and I'll show you how to configure that. The next thing we're going to need is our Scrape API key. This is going to allow our flow to scrape the Instagram profile and analyze all of the data. It's going to scrape the bio, username, name, the most recent post captions, and more. For this, we're going to use dataprism.dev. I've put the link down below in the description, and by using my link, you can get 1,000 free credits, meaning you can scrape 1,000 Instagram accounts completely for free with no credit card needed, only using my link down below in the description. Simply go ahead and sign up to Data Prism, and once you're in your dashboard, by the way, you can see that we did 40,000 API calls in the past 30 days. All you need to do is go ahead and click on API keys, click on create new API key. I'm going to name it YouTube Video 3rd January. Click on create and copy out the API key. Go back into your N8N flow and paste the Scrape API key right here. Now, the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and configure our OpenAI credentials. Now, as you can see, there's a little red exclamation mark right here. Simply click on this node and make sure either if you already have a credential connected to your N8N account to select it from here. And if you don't already have one, simply go to platform.openai.com/API-keys and you can sign in using the same account that you use for ChatGPT. Make sure you connect your card in the billing settings so that it actually works. We're going to go ahead and click on create new API key. I'm going to say YouTube 3rd January. Click on create secret key, copy out this key, go back into N8N. On the dropdown, click on create new credential. I'm going to call it YouTube Video 3rd January. Paste in the API key that I just copied right here and click on save. If it says connection tested successfully, you've done everything correctly and it's now connected to OpenAI. This node right here is what we're going to be using in order to check the data that we scraped from the Instagram account previously, analyze it, and format it in a way that we can use it. Now, if you click on this and open up this system prompt right here, you're going to see that I ask it to output the first name, occupation, age, gender, personalization, topics the lead is interested in, and whether they're an ICP, yes or no. Now, here I've also added in the ICP criteria. This is an example of what a client has, so mark as a yes if they are a match for these things, and disqualifiers, mark as a no match if they are these things. So in this case, we don't want females, we don't want young teenagers, we don't want coaches or personal trainers. This is this client's specific use case because he trains men, so he does fitness coaching for men. Now, you can adjust this prompt to whatever your specific use case is, but try to not change anything about these first fields right here because we use it inside of the flow. So make sure you only adjust your ICP criteria for the qualifiers and the disqualifiers. Now, once we've done that, we've pretty much set up our N8N template. There's just one final element missing. We've connected OpenAI, we've set up the scraping functionality, and we have the AI qualification logic defined. Now, the next step is going to be to connect our Instagram using Manychat. And for this, we're going to need to install the Manychat template to get the pre-configured Instagram automation. Now, once you've clicked on the template and imported it to your Manychat account, you're going to see what I see on screen right here. Now, let me quickly walk you through what happens in this template. Now, when somebody follows us, this flow is going to be triggered and we're going to send the data of the user to the N8N flow. I'm going to show you how to set that up in a second. We then wait 30 seconds for the N8N flow to complete, and we then check if the person is an ICP match or not. Now, if you want to proceed regardless of whether they're an ICP match or not, you can simply connect the B path over here like this, and it's going to proceed regardless of whether they're an ICP match or not. From there, we have a randomizer which goes down two different paths with two different messages so that we can split test which of these gets the highest reply rates. And these two nodes actually connect the flow to DM Tracker. I'm going to show you what DM Tracker is in a second, but after that, we go ahead and check if the AI first name field has any value. If it does, we personalize the outreach message with the first name, and this is not the Manychat first name variable, because if my name was Coach Emil, it would identify Coach as my first name and say, hey, Coach. So by using AI to actually analyze this, which is all part of what happens here in this N8N flow, we can personalize it with the actual first name. If we don't have a first name, we go ahead and send the message without personalization because we were unable to identify their first name. Now that we have this Manychat template set up, we're going to walk through adjusting it in a second, but the first thing we're going to do is go into N8N and configure the final element, which was the ICP tag ID. For this, we're going to go into Manychat, go to settings, scroll down, find tags, and we're going to find the ICP match tag. We're going to hover over it and copy out the tag ID right here. We're then going to go back into N8N and paste it into this field. We're also going to double check and we're going to go to the field section inside of Manychat. And in the fields, you should have a user field that is named AI first name, exactly like this with the same capitalization. If you don't, make sure you have that added in here because this is the variable that we use for the first name personalization and it needs to be named exactly like this, but you should have it by default, and if you do, then there's nothing for you to do. Now, before we go ahead and connect this to N8N so that we actually scrape it and we take it live for new followers, we're going to first set up our messages. Now, when having messages set up, we need to make sure that we ask them a question. The only point of messaging new followers is to start a conversation, and the only way we can start a conversation is by asking a message. Now, here are two examples for a client that we actually use. Are you here for the content or looking for a bit of help with your training? And I'm curious, are you currently happy with your physique? Now, we split test these two variations currently in a 90-10 split because this was our previous winner, but you can also set it up as a 50-50 split. So by doing it this way, you're going to be able to split test both messages with an equal likelihood. Once you've configured your messages here, you're going to have to configure the DM tracker nodes. But before we do that, what even is DM tracker? Number one, DM tracker is a platform that allows you to track the reply rates for an automation such as this one inside of Manychat. So it allows you to understand which of these message variations gets the highest reply rates. You can see all of this in your statistics. You can see your overall reply rate as well as your reply rate by outreach message or by different outreach reasons. You also have follow-up statistics because the DM tracker actually acts as a full Instagram DM tracker, meaning you are able to see all the leads who ghosted you organized by different time frames so that you know exactly who to follow up with over time. You can also track outreach inside of this platform. If your team, for instance, is doing manual outreach, you can add it in manually, or if you're using Manychat, such as we're doing in this video, you can add them in automatically by an automation. There's also a leaderboard, meaning if you have multiple team members, you can see how each of your team members is performing when it comes to outreach and follow-ups. You can configure your follow-up time stages in whatever way you want. And there's other features such as using tags to organize your leads so that you always know what's going on inside of your Instagram inbox. This is an essential tool for anyone who's taking Instagram sales seriously to use, and it's an essential part of this setup. Otherwise, you will not know what the reply rate for your individual messages is. DM Tracker has a 14-day free trial, and as part of the free trial, you are able to book a 15-minute strategy call with myself where I can take a look at what you're doing inside of your Instagram DMs and give you feedback based on over 100 projects that I've done over the past 12 months. Now let's get back to the tutorial, and in order for this DM Tracker tracking to work, you will need to complete the regular DM tracking onboarding process, and once you've done that, come back into this node, click on the first node right here, and make sure you have the DM Tracker authentication token right here without a timestamp. If there's a timestamp showing, delete it and replace it with the correct authentication token. In your body, the same thing applies for your organization ID. If there's a timestamp right here, make sure that you change it to DM Tracker Organization ID. Any questions, just contact DM Tracker support. They're incredibly helpful, and it may even be me that you end up talking to. Now, all we need to do is go ahead and take this message that we're using right here. We're going to go ahead and open a new tab and paste it in the browser just to remove any formatting and copy it from here. We're going to go back to the DM Tracker node, click on body, and we're going to highlight the outreach text and paste it in right here. We're then going to go ahead and click on save and repeat the same thing for the second node. We're going to take the message that we're sending for this second node. We're going to go into this second one right here, make sure the authentication token has no timestamps, make sure the organization ID has no timestamps, and we're then going to replace the message with the one that we copied out from the second node right here. And this is the perfect example for why you want to copy it. Go into a new tab, copy it out from there, because otherwise you're actually copying the node and it's not going to let you paste it in. So we're going to replace this, make sure the quotes here and all the formatting stays intact. I'm going to go ahead and click on save, and we now almost have it configured. The last thing we need to do is go back into N8N, go to our webhook, click on production URL, and copy out this URL right here. We're then going to make sure to save everything and turn on the flow. We're going to go back into Manychat and go to the N8N flow node right in the beginning. We're going to remove the your webhook URL here placeholder, and we're going to paste in the URL that we just copied. I'm going to go ahead and click on save and click on update. We now have a fully functioning flow that when somebody follows, we scrape their details, wait until that's completed. If they're an ICP match, we proceed. If you want to proceed regardless, you can always connect this node right here. We then have a random message testing, split testing with 2 different paths where we track each message inside of the M tracker. And if we were able to find a first name using AI, we personalize the initial outreach message using AI. Now, in order to test this before we take it live, I've added a message trigger called Emil testing. So for this, simply go ahead, click on new trigger, sends a message, detect specific words. If the message contains Emil testing or follow testing. So we can now go ahead and test this on Instagram by saying follow testing, which is going to trigger the flow because we set up that keyword. It's going to trigger the automation. As you can see, it's already updated the lead details to have all kinds of details about me, including that I'm a founder, what topics I'm interested in. It identified myself correctly as an ICP match. And if we go ahead and refresh this right now, we're going to go ahead and see that the ICP match tag was added. We set the first name to AI first name, which correctly identified my name as Emil. And if we quickly take a peek into the N8N flow and go to executions, we can actually see what happened right here. We got the webhook, everything went through. We actually scraped the profile where we received a ton of data about me and all my posts, my bio, etc. We then have the message a model node, which analyzed it and output all the different data, which we then saved into Manychat and added the ICP ID. As you can see, we now got the message, hey Emil, are you here for the content or looking for a bit of help with your training, which I also received inside of Instagram. And any outreach is now going to be logged inside of the M tracker and be visible inside of the statistics so that you can see how it's performing and what your reply rates are. Now, the final thing we need to do to actually take this live is to go to our settings, go to Instagram, and where it says say hi to new followers, go ahead and click on select existing and select the specific template that we just configured. If we now go into the flow, we can see, okay, we have our keyword triggers and we also have user follows your account. We're going to go ahead and turn that on, and we're going to make sure to wait between 5 to 10 minutes to actually start this next step. They used to have lower options such as 30 seconds, a minute, immediately, but 5 to 10 minutes is the best performing regardless. It seems they removed it and realized that as well. And now every single new follower is going to go through this flow and only be messaged if they're an ICP match, as well as get the personalized first name variable, and you are going to be able to track everything inside of the M tracker. Now, what can you expect from a system like this? I have seen anywhere from 10 to 30%, and in rare cases, even up to 40% reply rates for leads. Now, this depends obviously on how strict you are with your qualification criteria. If you message everyone, you're going to see a little bit lower. And if you're very strict and specific about who you message, you're going to see a little bit higher reply rates. Your content, etc., also plays into this a lot. You're going to be able to track performance and improve over time. So you may start out at 10%, but by having the M tracker and having your split tests, you can slowly climb up to from 10 to 12 to 14 to 18 to 20 to 22. So you're going to be able to increase it over time, and you're never going to miss any of these leads again because they're going to be inside of the M tracker and inside of your follow-up board, meaning if they don't reply to your message, you're going to be reminded to follow up with them right here. Now, your free resources, as already covered, the N8N template, the Manychat template, and the DM tracker free trial, all of them are free to use, and they're down below in the description for you to get right now. And if you want our help to implement automations inside of your business to make sure that you make more money from your Instagram DMs, go ahead and book in a call, have a chat with my business partner, and let's see if we can help you make more money on Instagram. All right, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial video and the walkthrough of how to actually build this. Let's summarize the scraping module of this video. Every lead gets automatically qualified. High quality leads get a priority, and you can understand who is a high quality lead and who isn't, and there's no more manual profile checking needed on your behalf. Which brings us to part 6, the convert phase. We have learned how to attract people into our funnel. We have learned how to connect with them and start conversations on autopilot, as well as scrape their profiles so we know who it's worth spending time on, which now brings us to part 6, convert. We're having a conversation with them. How do we turn these conversations into actually booked calls? Which brings me to the AI appointment setter system. Now, you can do this manually as well, but using an AI appointment setting system has so many advantages, such as 24/7 replies, fast speed to lead, which drastically increases conversion rates. It frees up your time for other things, and it's incredibly scalable. Some of our clients handle 60,000 messages in a month just using AI, and that is something that you cannot achieve with a human team unless you have a massive team and a massive headache that comes along with that. Now, what is the goal of the convert phase? We want to qualify leads and filter high intent prospects. We want to book calls automatically so that we no longer need to do any of that calendar management and send them links and make sure they book. And we want to handle all conversations 24/7. Now, how does this work? The conversation starts with manual or automated outreach, as discussed in the previous section. The lead replies, at which point the AI takes over the conversation and AI qualifies and books calls. And the only time you're going to have to jump into a conversation is when you configure a handover reason. So you can specify specific reasons, at which point in time the AI shuts itself off and you take over the conversation manually. The second point in time where you need to jump into conversations is when people ghost us and don't reply within the 24-hour time window, at which point in time you will use the M tracker to understand who you need to follow up with and follow up with those people manually yourself. Now, the AI setter architecture includes Manychat. This is where messages are received and sent. N8N is where the AI is built. We use GPT 4.1, and I have the entire template coming for you for free. We use the M tracker for the lead tracking and tracking the follow-ups. And most importantly, we have you, who is going to build, monitor, and improve the AI over time. Now, what does the AI handle? The AI handles the entire conversation flow, qualification and rapport building, calendar booking, and it follows up within 24 hours. What needs a human? A human needs to monitor the AI performance, needs to improve the AI based on feedback, and needs to follow up after the 24-hour time window has passed. This is because the Meta API locks us out after 24 hours. Now, you have optional handoff triggers, which are fully customizable, so you can set your own rules for the handover. An example for this would be VIP leads. So let's say a high-value prospect will get a human touch. If someone's like, hey man, I'm just ready to buy, you can potentially hand it over to yourself. Or custom requests, complex questions about what you do, what you offer, and maybe there's something custom in there depending on your business. You may want to have a human response, in which case you can implement a human handover. This will mean that AI shuts itself off and you can take over the conversation. And here we go. We have another template alert, because I'm going to give you the full AI appointment setter prompt template, the workflow. Everything that you need is going to be included, and all you need to do is customize it for your business. Now, how exactly are you even going to build this AI appointment setter? I'm going to show you the full build with a step-by-step walkthrough, and you can simply follow along with the template down below in the description. And with that being said, let's get into that tutorial video right now. Now, before we actually build this, I'm going to show you a demo of how exactly the AI works. And for this, I'm going to go to this new Instagram account that I made at Emil Systems, and you can do the same thing on your own as well. I'm going to click on message, and I'm going to send a DM saying system. This is immediately going to send me a free lead magnet, which takes people to a YouTube video of mine explaining the exact system that we offer. And from here, I can start a conversation. So I'm going to go ahead and say thanks. And as you can see, we got a reply back saying, of course, what's your story? What got you into tech/entrepreneurship space? And the reason why it's able to do this is because the AI that I'm about to show you how to build actually scrapes the profile of the person it's talking to. And as you can see here, it added all kinds of information about me. It knows my first name. It knows what companies I founded, OmniFusion, AutoAI, GDM, and DM Tracker. It knows things about where I travel to, how the business is going, and a lot of different things about me, including my gender and topics that I'm interested in. Now, I can have a full-blown conversation with the AI, and the AI is actually going to try to identify pain points about me and actually book in a call so that I can learn more about what we offer. Now, we've taken multiple clients and doubled or tripled their revenue using this exact system, and one of them, for instance, we took from 30K a month to 70K a month, and another one we took from only 3K a month to 12K a month in just 60 days. Now, I'm about to show you exactly how to set this up, but if you want our help to do that, there's going to be a link down below in the description where you can schedule in a completely free call to see if it even makes sense and if we can actually help you in your situation. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, the tools we're going to need in order to make this happen are 3 specific tools. The first is N8N. N8N is what we're going to use to actually build the AI appointment setter, and I'm going to give you the template for this completely for free and show you how to customize it. The second is going to be Manychat, and Manychat is what we're going to use to actually automate our Instagram DMs and send the messages we receive to N8N, as well as send the reply that our AI generates back to the lead. And the third tool is going to be the M Tracker, which we're going to use to track all statistics for what is going on inside of our Instagram inbox, as well as track every single lead so we never forget to follow up with any lead ever again. All 3 tools have a free 14-day trial, and the links are going to be down below in the description. Now, once you've signed up to everything, we're going to need to import our N8N flow first. For this, I'm going to put the link to the free template down below in the description, which is going to take you to this page. Here is simply going to go ahead and click on N8N template, which is going to bring you to this file. Simply go ahead and download the file, go into your N8N and click on Create Workflow, and click on the 3 dots and click on Import from File. Simply select the file that you just downloaded, click on Open, and it's going to import this entire workflow automation. Now, don't worry, this may seem overwhelming, but I'm going to show you step by step how to adjust it so that you can get this going. To quickly explain the flow, we first receive the information from Manychat on the specific user who sent us a message. We then check if we have details present for the specific lead and scrape their profile if we don't. We then set specific prompt values, which is going to determine the script and the behavior of the AI. Then the AI actually generates a response. If there is a human handover, so this has a human handover functionality, meaning if there's a reason that applies for that we want to end the conversation, it's going to end the conversation for us. And if we actually send out the message, we're going to first format the messages to remove any AI identifying formatting, such as a long M dash, which is a clear giveaway that it's AI. This is the most real version of any AI appointment setter that you're going to find on YouTube. After we've set this up, we can go ahead and temporarily click on save, and we'll come back to this later. In the meantime, go ahead and sign up for Manychat and connect your Instagram account. Once you've done that, go back to the free template link down below in the description, and this time we're going to go ahead and click on the Manychat template. This is going to bring us to this page right here, which is the Manychat flow, and you can simply go ahead and click on Save to Manychat. Inside of your Manychat account, when you go to Automations, you should see a folder that says Imported from AI Sales System. This is going to have the flow saying AI Flow YouTube Video, and you're going to open it up, and it's going to bring you to this page. Go ahead and click on Edit, and essentially what this flow does is it simply receives incoming messages, sends them to N8N, and builds all the logic around it. So when I send multiple messages to the AI, such as, for example, I've always been interested, just started my agency, it's going to treat this as one message and reply to all of them at once. So all of that logic is handled inside of this Manychat flow. Now, when it comes to the M Tracker, I'm going to show you exactly at the end of the video how you can set it up to track everything so that you can see how many messages you get, you can see your reply rate, as well as all follow-ups that are inside of your account for people who ghosted your messages that you need to follow up with. But first things first, we're going to focus on N8N and Manychat to actually get the AI working before we worry about tracking. For this, we're going to go into N8N and go back to the flow that we just imported. Here, there's going to be a couple things that we need to do, which is first to set up our API keys. For this, we're going to click on the Set Keys field, which is going to open up this page right here. The first thing we're going to get is our Manychat API key. For this, simply go into Manychat, click on Settings, scroll down and find API, and copy out the API key that you see right here, or click on Generate if you don't already have one before copying it out. Then go back into N8N and paste it into this field right here. Next, we're going to go ahead and get a Scrape API key. For this, you're going to find the link to a tool called Data Prism down below in the description. Now, if you don't actually want to do the scraping functionality, that's totally fine as well. In that case, you could simply take this node and connect it straight to here so that you skip the whole scraping functionality if you don't want to do any of that. If you do want to do the scraping, simply go and click on the link down below in the description. This actually gives you 1,000 free requests if you use my link down below. So for the first 1,000 Instagram profiles that you scrape, it's going to be completely for free. Simply go ahead and sign up. As you can see, we've done 35,000 Instagram scrapes in the past 30 days, so we use this tool heavily ourselves. In the API key section, go ahead and click on Create New API Key. Name it however you want to name it. I'm going to name it Emil YouTube Tutorial and click on Create. Then simply copy this key, go back into N8N, go back to the set keys section and paste in the Scrape API key. The next thing you're going to do is go back to Manychat, go to your settings and find the tags section. Here, there's going to be an ICP match tag that is automatically imported as part of your automation. You're simply going to hover over this and copy out the tag ID, go back into N8N, and add the tag ID right here. We're then going to find the AI active tag, which is going to determine when the AI is active and when it's not. For this, you're going to find the AI active tag in the same section, copy out the ID, go back into N8N, and paste it in right here. And finally, we're going to get the human handover tag. And for this, we're going to find the human handover tag right here, copy out the ID, and we're going to go ahead and paste it in right here. We've now done this setup and now everything is linked to our Manychat and all the tags are specified. The next thing we're going to go ahead and do is go to the instructions section where we have the prompt values. Now, if you click on the AI setter and click on this little arrow in the bottom right hand corner, you can see that the entire prompt is formatted in a specific way and we simply fill in variables. These variables are specified in the set prompt values field. So if you click on this, you're going to see the agent name, agent backstory, company name, business description, response plan instructions, which is your script essentially, and the instructions for how the AI should respond, specific response rules, knowledge about what you do, the style in which the AI should write, and any reasons that we may want to hand over the conversation to a human. Now, I've left all of my frameworks in here, so you can simply go ahead and click on the arrow, and you can see the exact prompt that I have in my setup, and you can simply go through this and adjust it to whatever your specific use case is. Now, I've made a separate video about prompting on this channel, so if you want more insights into how to prompt, go ahead and watch that video, but it should be pretty self-explanatory, and you can simply keep the framework that I have right here and adjust it to your specific business. Now, the last thing we're going to need to do is hook this up to OpenAI, which is what we're going to use to actually generate the response. For this, simply go to platform.openai.com/API-keys, and you can use the same account that you're using for your OpenAI ChatGPT account to sign into this API platform. One important thing you're going to need to do is go to your settings, find the billing, and go to payment methods and actually link a card so that your API calls will go through. You pay as you go, so you pay by token usage, and if you don't have a card linked, all of your API requests are going to decline and the actual setup will not work. Once you've done that, go back to your API key section, click on create new secret key, call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it Emil YouTube, click on create secret key and copy out the key right here. You can then go back into N8N and go to any of the OpenAI nodes. Simply click on one of them. Where it says credential to connect with, click on the dropdown and click on create new credential. I'm going to name this Emil YouTube tutorial and paste in the API key that I just copied out. We're now going to go ahead and click on save. And if it says connection tested successfully, you've done everything correctly up until this point. We're now going to exit out of here and go over to the AI setter, and we have a little OpenAI chat model node right here, which we're going to take as well. And we're going to go ahead and where it says credential to connect with, select the specific credential that we just set up so that everything is linked. Now, once that is done, we are almost ready to actually implement this. So we're going to go ahead and click on save. We're going to go ahead and click on activate, which is going to turn on this workflow in production. We're then going to click on the main webhook, go to production URL and copy out the URL that you see right here. We're then going to go into Manychat, go to automations and find the template that we just imported, which is going to be AI Flow YouTube video. We're going to go ahead and click on edit, find this node right here where it says N8N Flow. We're going to open that up. We're going to remove the URL that's currently in there so that it's completely blank and paste in the new URL that we just copied. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and click on save and update. Now, it's not live for all people inside of your Instagram DMs just yet, because as you will see at the beginning, it has a trigger saying user sends a message and it has to contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in order to test the AI that we just set up, we're simply going to go ahead and send a message to the account that we set it up on. And inside our message, we're going to make sure to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the beginning. I'm simply going to go ahead and say, hey, this is now going to run through our Manychat flow. So if I go back into Manychat and I go to conversations, all, I'm going to be able to see the message that we just received as well as everything that's going on in the backend. It's now going to wait 30 seconds to see if I send a second message before processing it, at which point we can go back into N8N, click on executions, and see that we just had an execution that completed, where we can see it went through everything, it scraped the details of the lead, and it actually generated a message. So the incoming message that we have right here was 12345, hey. And the reply that we got inside of N8N is, hey, what are you focused on with your page right now? If we go back into Manychat, we can see that this message was sent out. And if we go into our Instagram DMs, we can see that we received the reply right here. I can now have a full-blown conversation to actually test this. I can say I'm building my agency. And all we need to do is make sure we add 12345 at the beginning of every single message. Now, this is how you're going to test everything. And if you don't like something, simply go into your editor inside of N8N, go to your prompt values and adjust the values to change the behavior, such as, for instance, the response plan instructions or the response rules. By adjusting these variables, you're going to change the behavior of the AI and be able to adjust it over time. Now that we have the AI inside of our Instagram account, it's time to look into DM Tracker. Now, for DM Tracker, there's a free 14-day trial, so you can simply go ahead and sign up and complete the onboarding flow. Once you've completed the onboarding flow inside of your Manychat, if you go to automations, you're going to see a folder saying imported from DM Tracker. The DM Tracker connection flow is going to be the one in question. And if you want to have the AI running together with this flow, you're going to need to go ahead and copy out this node right here. Simply click on it, do Control-C or Command-C on Mac, go back to the AI flow template, click on Edit, paste in the node and move it to the beginning. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and connect this right here and connect this down here. Now, before the AI responds to any message, we're going to be tracking everything inside of DM Tracker so that we actually know which leads we're talking to and who ghosted us. Now, when it comes to actually using DM Tracker so that you can get outreaches, reply rates, and you can track all kinds of statistics, simply go to support.dmtracker.ai and you can find all guides over there. And when you sign up to DM Tracker, there's actually a free strategy call with myself when you sign up. So you can go ahead and sign up, book in that call with me. I'm going to be able to walk you through the exact use cases that make sense for your business. Now, once we're ready to take the AI live, we can go ahead and go to Settings, go to Instagram, and where it says default reply, we're going to go ahead and click on select existing. We're then going to select the specific AI flow YouTube video. We're going to click on pick this automation. We're going to go onto this automation, click on edit, go to the default reply trigger, and make sure it's selected as every time because we want every single message to go through this flow. Once you've done that and you're ready for the AI to start replying to conversations, you can go ahead and click on update and everything is going to be live. And now if somebody sends us a message, they no longer need to say 12345. They can simply send a message and any message they send will go through this flow. Now, if you want to change the time delay and how long we wait before replying, you can simply adjust these smart delay nodes to something like 90 seconds, which is usually going to be best practice. And that means after each message we receive, we're going to wait 90 seconds to see if they send a second message, and if they do, group it together before we end up replying. There's also an option to only reply to people who have a specific tag called AI active, and if you want that set up, you can move the trigger to the left, take the actions node where it has the DM Tracker action, disconnect this, and connect it to the AI active tag down here first. Now it's going to check if this tag is applied to the contact before it actually ends up replying. So if you wanted to, for example, only have this live for new contacts, you could go to automation, click on new automation, click on start from scratch, start with a blank, go ahead and set up a trigger, click on contact events and select new contact created. You would then go ahead and click on save, then add an action. And in the action, we would add the tag AI active, and if we take this live, it would now only trigger for new contacts, meaning all existing people we're talking to will not be triggered by the AI. And whenever a new conversation starts and a new contact gets created inside of Manychat, we're going to add the tag AI active, and inside the flow, we're going to be checking for that specific tag before we actually reply. And if they don't have the tag, we're not going to reply to their message. You now have the foundation of a very complex system that we use to manage over 100 Instagram accounts and generate sales and book calls on autopilot. DM Tracker is an essential part of this entire system, along with the AI built inside of N8N. Now, if you need help implementing this and you don't want to do it yourself and you want to let someone who has done it over 100 times handle it for you, go ahead and click the link down below in the description, schedule in a free call. Worst case, you're going to learn something, and best case, we're going to make a lot of money together. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video and you now have your own fully functioning AI appointments that are inside of your Instagram DMs, which brings us to the convert phase summary. AI handles all conversations 24/7. You monitor and improve. DM Tracker ensures nothing falls through the cracks. You track everything inside of DM Tracker, and the result of this is going to be that you have more calls, less manual work, more money, and a better life. We have reached the checkpoints. So far, we've covered attract, connect, scraping, convert. We've covered all the 3 phases. You've gotten all the templates. The next step is putting it all together and sort of understanding how everything you learned fits together into one full system. The reality of AI setters is the truth is they're not perfect out of the box. This requires testing. This requires refinement. This not only goes for your AI setter, it also goes for all the other automations. That's not going to be perfect at the beginning, but the payoff is that once it's dialed in, it's an absolute game changer, and you're going to be able to scale without a lot of the traditional bottlenecks that hold back businesses like yours. Part 7. Putting it all together. Now, the complete system goes as follows. You attract people with your content to get engagement. You can also run ads in the attract phase. You connect with those people through outreach, both automated and manual. You scrape their profiles and you tag the people who are an ICP match. You then convert those people with AI conversations with qualification to book in calls, and you track everything inside of DM Tracker so that everything is monitored. Now, before you have this system, you're probably spending at least 15 to 20 hours a week on Instagram at a very bare minimum, and you're doing everything manual and you have inconsistent results. After implementing this, you can cut down your Instagram time in terms of managing conversations and leads to 2 to 3 hours a week. You get 3 to 5 times more qualified calls. This obviously varies depending on your niche, your lead flow, etc. And you save 85 to 90% of the time that you would usually spend on Instagram so that you can reallocate those resources to things that actually move the needle in your business and bring you more leads and help you close more clients. Let's quickly recap the tech stack that we've covered. For content, we use Poppy or Claude, plus SortFeed to do competitor research. For attract, we use Instagram Organic plus paid ads. For the connect phase, we need Manychat and we need a VA. For scraping, we're going to use N8N and the AI ICP matching, which we do with Data Prism, which was covered in that module. For the convert phase, we have an AI setter, which is based fully on N8N. The actual language model that we use for the AI is OpenAI, as well as Manychat to send and receive messages, and we track everything inside of DM Tracker. Now let's cover a couple common pitfalls. The first one is that you're not customizing your AI prompts enough so that they sound generic, robotic, and they kill conversion. The fix is to train your AI on your voice in ICP. The best part though is that if you took the template that I provided to you in this video, all you need to do is adjust my prompt that I made by heavily adjusting over time and improving and improving and improving, and adjust it to your business, and you're going to get the most real AI you could ever imagine. The second common pitfall is ignoring DM Tracker data. If you ignore the data, you don't know what's working and you can't improve. If you run a split test, you can't just forget about the data. You need to look at the data and improve your split test over time. The fix is weekly metric reviews, split tests, check the data regularly. Which brings me to common pitfall number 3, which is automating before validating. Now, we all love automation, but you need to make sure that you validate what you're trying to automate. Meaning, if you have, for example, a bad ICP match, your automation is going to fuck up a lot of things. You want to make sure you test the ICP matching at the ICP criteria so that you actually understand who an ICP is before you automate it. Otherwise, you're going to have low reply rates from the start. The fix is to manually test things first and then automate what works. If you are just starting on Instagram and you have never sold in DMs before, you may not be in the best situation to build out the setter and adjust the prompt because you don't even know what script works. Maybe you need to learn it yourself first. However, if you have some experience on Instagram, you've sold before, you have a proven offer, you have a proven script that works, you know who your ICP match is, in that case, automating gives you all the leverage that you need. Now let's go into some metrics that you need to look out for. The first is your reply rates for your outreach. We want to be aiming for anywhere from 10 to 30+%. Now, for example, if you're reaching out to people who voted on a story poll, over 30% is achievable and something that you could make happen. Obviously, it depends a lot on your audience. If we're talking about new followers, we're aiming for anywhere from 10 to 20, maybe 25%. If you get a 25% new follower outreach, which I've seen before, you are doing incredibly well. If you're getting below 10, there's something broken. Either you're getting trash followers who don't care, or your message just isn't optimized. So by doing the split test, you're going to be able to bump that up over time, but we want to get at least a minimum 10% on all the things that we're doing. And secondly, when you start a conversation, 5 to 10% of those people should turn into actual calls. If you're below 5%, we need to look into why that is. Maybe your leads aren't qualified, and fix the root cause for that. And a general business metric that matters is how many calls do you turn into a client, which is your close rate. You want to be hovering around 30%. If you're above 30%, you can probably raise your prices. If you're at 40%, for example, you can raise your prices, bump them up, and then it's going to drop down your close rate to 30%, but you're going to be making more money with less delivery headaches because you have a higher price. And if your close rate is below 30%, maybe your offer sucks. Maybe you're bad at closing. There's a lot of things that you can potentially improve there. Now, what can you expect from implementing this entire system in a timeline sort of way? In the first 1 to 2 weeks, we want to do setup and testing. This is where you build, configure the system, test it, get familiar with everything. Using the templates here, usually if you sit down for 1 day, you're going to be able to get it done. But even when you go live, there's going to be things to improve, which then brings us to week 3 to 4, which is going to be your first automated calls. Your system starts producing results. You have your first calls on your calendar that you actually never spoke to the person about. From the second month, you're going to start to see more and more qualified calls coming in as you dial in the system, as you improve based on real conversations that you're seeing, which brings us to month 3+, which is simply when you refine and you scale. You are able to scale, pump up ads, more content, get more people into the DMs because you have a system there that's proven to work and bring you results. And a quick reality check, the upfront work will take effort. The setup takes effort. It requires monitoring. It requires tweaking. You're not going to build it once and then forget about it and never look at the AI again. And it's not set and forget initially. The long-term payoff is that once it's dialed in, you get consistent client flow and you have a repeatable system that you can milk over months and years to come. Brings you to part 8, the results and next steps with all your free templates. Now, real results that we've achieved for clients are taking a client from $30,000 to $80,000 a month. We've taken another client to get 50 calls booked in a single day. Quickly imagine what that would look like for you. You probably can't even handle that amount. If you got 50 calls in a day now, there's not enough hours in the day for you or even your closer to handle it. And that is where a client of ours got to with the AI. Previously, they were doing maybe 10 to 20 calls a day. And another client got more conversations and more booked calls while getting rid of 80% of their team members. And just to make sure you understand, I'm not just pulling numbers out of my ass. Here are some real results where it comes to volume with quality. This client here finished the month at about 61,000 messages on IG with the AI. This client was very, very impressed with the combos and said the AI is speaking better than he does. We have another client here saying the AI is cranking over here. I love this. I personally have the ability to start conversations, but I'm terrible at keeping them. This has been so stress relieving. So sick, bro. Perfect conversations. So many calls book, sales are going to skyrocket. And then we have real results in terms of revenue. We have a client who went from around 60K with a bottleneck because they couldn't handle all the conversations to then hitting close to 90K in a single month. This client right here hit $80,000 in December, which is the last month, which was their best month yet. This client closed the first deal with the AI system for 8.8K. And this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of the results that this sort of system can provide for you. Now, a quick recap of what you get for free with this video: the N8N automation workflows, the Manychat conversation templates, the appointment setter prompts, the ICP scraping templates, the 14-day DM tracker trial. There's so much stuff that you get for free as part of this video, and how to get the templates is with the link in the description, and you can simply implement that. You have 2 paths after watching this video. The path one is to do it yourself with all the templates and all the tutorials. I gave you everything for free and you can do it yourself using our guides. The second path, if you're busy, if you're overwhelmed with what you currently have going on in your business and you want someone with a ton of experience to handle this for you, we can build everything for you and do a done for you implementation inside of your business. I've personally done this for over 100 projects over the past 12 years. I've implemented so many of these systems that I dream about it at night. And the done for you option will have us build it, test it, and optimize it for you. We'll handle all the setup, all the configuration, all the tech stack, all the hosting, all the maintenance. We'll have training and support included for you so that you can understand your responsibilities and make sure you make the most out of your input while we handle all the technical aspects. And all you need to do to explore that opportunity is to book a call at omnifusion.ai. You're going to be speaking to my business partner. We're going to map out your business together, take a look at where your bottlenecks are, and if we can help you solve those bottlenecks. And if we can't, you learned a thing or two about your business and can go back to this video and implement it yourself. Which brings me to the final message. You now have the blueprint. Most of you will not implement it. Most of you will not take action, but the ones who do are going to see massive success. So make sure you are the one who does take action. With that being said, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and ask me any questions in the comments down below, and I'll talk to you soon.